I'm good. I'm done. I'm not an actor.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out John Carpenter's Escape from New York. And I know I very recently just watched They Live, another John Carpenter movie. And to be honest with you, I wasn't planning on watching this movie today, but then I just felt like watching this movie. You know, I've gotten a lot of people wanting me to watch this, requesting me to watch Escape from New York. It's a movie that I've wanted to watch for a while, and after watching They Live, I was like, you know what? Why not just watch Escape from New York? I know it's like very soon, like maybe even just like 2 reactions after They Live, and so it's a very short amount of time to watch a bunch of John Carpenter movies, I guess, but doesn't really matter. Also, I hope you enjoyed that intro. My little brother was really excited to be able to do the intro, and then he didn't even do the intro. He was gonna be following it and saying like, oh, I escaped from New York, but then it just fell apart. But yeah, I have no idea what this movie is about. I know that Kurt Russell is in this movie. Kurt Russell seems to be a John Carpenter favorite. Out of the 4 or 5 John Carpenter movies that I've seen, 3 of them have had Kurt Russell. And I'm not complaining. I love Kurt Russell. And I'm assuming that in this movie he is trying to escape from New York. I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory, but what if he's actually trying to infiltrate New York and the title is just like a misdirect? That would be pretty interesting. And if you'd like to check out more of my reactions, you can head over to my Patreon where I have uncut reactions to many of the movies I watch on YouTube, as well as early access reactions to my movies that come out 1 week early. There are also 2 exclusive Patreon movies a month that you guys on Patreon get to choose, so thank you so much if you check it out. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, let's escape from this intro and head into the video. Do you see you see what I did there? These jokes at the end of the intros are getting so much worse. I hope you enjoy my reaction to Escape to New York? No, Escape from New York. I love that every John Carpenter movie has John Carpenter's on it. It just makes them feel so much more special than they are. But they are special. What am I even saying? It just makes them feel special. Do you think Donald is a pleasant guy to be around? Oh, I'm too funny. What season do you think is his favorite?
In 1988, the crime rate in the United States rises 400%.
That's quite a rise.
All bridges and waterways are mined. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped around the island.
Okay, wait, this is actually sick. It's a Prison Break movie. They're trying to escape on a raft. You can't escape on a raft. A raft doesn't go over walls. You're really gonna missile them? Okay, that was a little harsh. Ah, my man! It's Kurt with the eye patch. I love it. And the shin guards. I like it. I like the style.
And be cremated on the premises. If you elect this option, notify the duty sergeant in your processing area.
So you have the choice to just ask to be cremated right here so you don't have to go live in the city. Is that what they just said? Is it really that bad in there?
All your imperialist weapons and lies can't save him now. We're going down. We're going to crash.
Into what?
Acknowledge.
The ground? A tower? Statue of Liberty? That's a cool looking airplane. I would fly on that airplane.
Tell this to
Oh
the
wait,
workers.
Air Force One is what the president sits on. I totally just went over my mind.
Take the door off at the hinges.
No, sir.
Get me to the pod.
The pod? Is there an escape pod? Is he gonna save himself and kill everyone else on the plane? basically. If I was with him, I'd be like, sorry, sir, I'm getting in the pod, not you. You don't deserve to live. Okay, this didn't age very well, did it? This sequence didn't age very well.
I'm going in.
Wonder if Kurt Russell finds the president and then holds him for ransom or something like that. I want to know what it's like on the streets of the prison, though. That's the thing I'm the most interested about. I wonder how the prisoners get food and stuff as well. I have a lot of questions about this prison, but it's such an interesting concept. That's just the president. He just went crazy. Imagine.
If you're not in the air in 30 seconds, he dies. If you come back in, he dies.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's go.
I like that guy. He's so cool. He looks like a lizard mixed with like Goku or something. Or just an anime character in general.
Alan, it's a last resort. It's 8:45. I want permission to try a rescue. Thank you.
So maybe Kurt Russell's a good guy in this?
No, I'll be okay.
Oh yeah, so Kurt Russell's gonna be rescuing the president. Interesting. I didn't expect that at all. I thought he was a prisoner. I think he is. How cool is Kurt Russell right now?
Bullshit.
Straight, just like I said.
I'll think about it.
No time. Give me an answer.
Get a new president.
Get a new president. Fair enough.
You flew the Gulf Fire over Leningrad. You know how to get in quiet. You're all I've got.
I guess I go in one way or the other.
Looks like Kurt Russell's wearing lipstick. His lips are very bright.
Told you I wasn't a fool, Pleasence.
Call me Snake.
I'll call you Snake.
Where am I landing?
Top of the World Trade Center, only place you can land. They won't see it and you can take off from a free fall. On the roof.
He's gonna parachute off of the building? That's so cool.
You can locate the president by his vital signs bracelet on his wrist. It sends off a sync pulse. Use this.
Yeah, but what if they just took that off, you know?
I'll be all right.
Let's go, Pleasence.
I don't like needles.
Same. Wait, please do not inject him with a close-up.
It's the survival of the human race, Pleasence. Something you don't give a shit about.
Oh, so the stakes are very high. The stakes are not just for Snake anymore. It's for the entire world.
Second or two.
Probably to stop a nuclear fallout, a nuclear war. Oh, I hate these ones the most. Well, no, I don't actually, but I still hate them. Ah!
What did you do to me, asshole?
My idea, Pleasence. Something we've been fooling around with.
Oh, it's gonna explode inside of him?
Be dead in 10 or 15 seconds.
Come out now.
They're protected by the cores. 15 minutes before the last hour's up, we can neutralize the charge with X-rays.
15 minutes before the last hour, so you're really just decreasing the time, and then you've decreased the time again with these capsules. This is so unfair to Kurt. I don't know what that plane is, but it looks like an anchovy. How close to the wire is he gonna get by the end of this movie? I think it's gonna be like so close to those 15 minutes.
Pleasence? Pleasence, what are you doing?
A flip.
Myself. I'm going in.
Just doing a flip for style. That was pretty close to the edge. But you know Kurt Russell lives on the edge.
Trade center on the 50th floor. Just like Leningrad, Alk.
Is the glider intact?
Yeah, but taking off is for shit.
You can just fall down the tower, gain some airspeed, pull up a little bit, boom. wonder how many people there are in this city prison.
I've got his pulse. Right up ahead, moving northwest.
I'm telling you, they took it off his wrist and they just put it on some random bloke. Is there actually a show inside? Wait, that's actually so awesome. Wait, I would go watch this. This looks awesome. Aw, that guy's having a good time. She looks drugged out of her mind.
Nice boots. Hey.
Easy work. Is that the president or is that some random dude?
Mr. President.
Ah, it's not.
Get it. Woke up and there it was. Just like a miracle.
Just like a miracle.
Hail to the chief.
Alright, get your machine.
I like this guy. Make him president.
Got that. Somebody's had him for dinner.
Listen, if you get back in that glider, I'll shoot you down. You climb out, I'll burn you off the wall.
What do you want him to do if the president is dead? Obviously, the president is probably not dead. But if the president is dead, what do you want him to do? Like, create a new one? What? Okay, everyone's outfits are really cool, though. Especially Kurt Russell's. But that guy looks pretty awesome. He was like the warning, or not even the warning. He was like telling everyone else that Kurt Russell was here. Wait, they're not going to him though. They're not coming after him. Oh my god, they're like rats coming out of the sewers. That's the imagery that I'm getting right now.
Crazies. End of the month, they're out of food.
Okay. So where do they get food from then?
I know who you are. Yeah, but I heard you were dead.
How does everyone know him?
Wow, Snake Plissken, all right.
Is it because he was a famous... Oh, I guess he was pretty famous. He must have been on the news and stuff.
Why?
Snake was really gonna let his guard down for this random woman. She could have stolen a gun, destroyed him, incinerated him, and he was just Horty. Oh! They're gonna call that guy Handless Harry from now on. His radio is gone. Radioless Mike. Don't know why Mike was the first name that came up after Radioless. It should have been like Radioless Ralph or something with an R, but it was Mike. It's gonna be the guy at the play. He was wearing a taxi hat. Yeah, let's go.
I'm not down around here myself, but I wanted to catch that show. This stuff is like gold around here, you know. Hell, I know everybody in this town. Yes, sir, I've been driving this cab for 30 years. This very same cab.
I'm gonna ask you.
Don't be mean to this guy. I like this man.
I want to meet this Duke.
You can't meet the Duke. Are you crazy? Nobody gets to meet the Duke. You meet him once and then you're dead.
Nice. So does that also include family, parents? Like his mom just cannot see him again? He's like, sorry mom, if you see me, I'm going to have to cut you down. Like, is that, like, what does that entail? I need the specifics.
Usually I don't leave her alone at all.
Sounds like the Halloween soundtrack a little bit right now. Very John Carpenter. I also love how atmospheric this movie is. There are times where this movie is just so atmospheric and there's so much tension and there's almost no music, or the music is super simple like this, and it's just awesome.
Cabby!
What do you want?
Somebody wants to see Brain. It's important.
Go away, Cabby.
Brain? Is Brain the Duke?
Wants to see Brain.
Why?
I want to see his brain.
Oh, that Brain. He's the greatest. Mr. Fabulous. The Duke loves him.
Oh, Brain is not the Duke.
Man should remember his past. Kansas City 4 years ago, you ran out on me.
Ooh.
You, me, and Fresno Bob. You know what they did to Bob?
What did they do to the Bob?
Jet glider just a couple of blocks down the street. Now all you gotta do is get me to him.
Ooh, Harold's gonna be in.
You always were smart, Harold.
Just one thing right now. Don't call me Harold.
What do you want to be called then? Oh, Brain, I guess. That was a little dumb of me to ask that question.
That's the Duke. I know the sound of his engines. Don't cross the Duke.
I want to know what the Duke looks like. I'm actually so interested. I hope he has a cool character design. The car's a little bit raised at the back. You think that's the Duke? He looks pretty awesome. That looks like the Duke. He looks sexy. That works as well. I think it would have been funny if he just started driving, the guy fell, and then they boom, 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 run him over.
Boy's got 5 minutes.
No!
Yes. Keep driving.
What's wrong with Broadway?
Yeah, what is wrong with Broadway? Is it just there's a lot of people on Broadway? Oh, you know, that is something wrong with Broadway. Just gas it through them. I don't know what this guy's plan was, but I guess he's living his dream of getting shot in the chest.
Hold on.
Oh, whoa. Okay, that was awesome.
If you're not back to the car in 4 minutes, you're on your own.
When we get there, Harold, you just keep talking.
What if Harold just leaves him like he did before?
Well, why don't we wait inside for him?
Because I got orders, that's why.
What are your specific orders, by the way?
No one inside?
What are you looking at?
Oh my god, right in the forehead. I'd say that is a 4 head out of 5. Oh, he did get shot. I was wondering. Yeah, there's a giant arrow sticking out of his leg. I don't know how I missed that. Where is everyone? They said to stay outside, so where'd they go? Oh! Should have expected that. Should have expected that.
Watch it.
Oh! Harold betrayed. I don't like you, Harold. I'm calling you Harold just because you want to be called Brain. That's how much I disrespect you. Who's this lizard man? Why is he still here?
I've heard of you.
I love that everyone has heard of him. Oh! I also love that everyone is dressed as pirates. Look at that guy's purple sunglasses. Oh, they look so good. Are they races or are they shooting people? Oh my god. Oh my god, that would be so scary.
Don't move, Snake.
They seem very scared of him, and I guess that makes sense. He has a huge reputation.
Get moving, Brain.
The Duke is really scary. This guy can go bugger off, though. No, he needs those papers. And the tape is actually the thing that needed to get there, though. No, this guy's literally ruining everything. Oh, there is a food drop area. It'd be pretty funny if there's like a bomb in that case or something.
There we go, the World Trade Center, and it's going to be a hell of a lot easier for me to take off than it was for him to land.
Didn't he tell you
Ernest,
where it was? Oh no, he just said he has a glider. He didn't say where it was.
Liskin.
His radio broke a long time. There's only an hour and 56 minutes and 36 seconds left. Is this gonna be like a fighting pit or something? Yeah. Of course there's a fighting pit. Boo! You know what? I'll be the one who says it. I like Kurt Russell more than this new guy coming in. Don't care what the crowd thinks. He kind of looks like Dr. Eggman from the Sonic games a little bit. His eyebrows are kind of reminding me of that. And he's also bald.
On our way to freedom, we're gonna have their best man leading the way. From the neck up.
Ah.
On the hood of my car.
I bet you thought of that last second. And he's like, I'm going to add this in. The crowd's going to be so hype. Okay, he's slow, but powerful. Like, you don't have any ribs anymore after that hit.
Gentlemen. Mr. President.
Looking good, Mr. President. Does that mean Cabby has the tape now? Lizard Man just got stabbed in the stomach. Oh, that's actually kind of satisfying because I did not like him at all. What? Level up. Don't get hit by this one, Kurt. Kurt, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Try and hit him somewhere else besides where his shield is. Oh! Oh! There are no nail marks in the back of his head. A little disappointed. What are they saying? Slay him?
The president's gone! Brain took him!
Everyone is out for blood. This is gonna be exciting. This is an exciting finale.
Anybody could have pushed that button.
Only Pliskin knew there was a safety catch. I will give him a little more time just to make sure.
Okay, but the safety catch was a hinge that you just had to lift up. It wasn't that hard to figure out. No! Ah.
Hey! I'm the only one who knows how to read that, Snake. Stay out of my way, Harold. Besides, you can't read and drive at the same time. You need us.
You can't read and drive at the same time. True. You only have one eye. You can only do one of those two things at a time. I think I trust Brain now, but there's still some doubt in my mind. I also like that the injury he sustained is still bugging him. And a lot of times in movies, a hero would get injured and then all of a sudden they would just be running on it fine. But I like that he's still limping.
Here, take this.
Got trouble?
Now that was the most unexpected thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hi, Duke.
Oh no, Brain! His brains are about to be on the wall. He's about to live up to his name. Oh my god. My man, the cab man. And he has the tape. He definitely has the tape. Isn't it a little lucky that he was there though? Like, what was his reasoning to be there?
Threes. Where's the tape, Brain?
Tape.
Huh?
What tape?
Where is it?
Tape from the briefcase. Oh, that tape. Here it is.
Only 1/1,000,000th of the biological damage of iodine 1.
Here, give me that tape.
Not just yet.
No, let Snake keep it. He will protect it way better than you can. Whenever you're watching a John Carpenter movie, you just know it's a John Carpenter movie. There's just something about it that you can just know. You just know for certain that it's John Carpenter's film. I like the Duke's twitch that he has with his right. Whoa, man, that was awesome.
Okay, now.
Whoa. That's not very good. What? Where's the other half of the car? Please don't make the cabbie be dead. I loved him too much. Okay, these guys are alive.
I said jog right, you asshole.
No! He was my favorite too.
Damn it!
Brain schematics were not right. And now he is dead. She's staying behind. Good on you, Maggie. Why are you shooting from like such a long distance? Just wait. Just wait. Like 20 seconds. Oh. Maggie has been smushed into atoms. Oh, wow. That is gruesome.
Taxi cab and a Cadillac. The taxi hit a mine. There's 4 people on foot.
14 minutes. Get a Jeep with a winch over there fast.
2 people on foot now.
Get over to station 19.
Look at that cell phone. Oh my god. I totally always forget how big cell phones used to be. That was comedic. I don't know if Kurt's gonna live through this. Why are you... Oh, they don't know. Kurt's about to get hurt. What? Who did that? Which one of you betrayed my man Kurt?
You're the Duke! You're the Duke!
Why did the president have to stop him for that though? Why? He's like, you're gonna watch me. You're gonna hang there and watch me kill the Duke. Come on, Doc! Get the serum! Oh, I was holding my breath for a second. That was stressful.
I want to thank them. This nation appreciates their sacrifice.
Oh, that wasn't the right thing to say.
Look, I'm on the air in 2.5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
They kill me now, Snake?
I'm too tired. Maybe later.
Oh, that's so cool.
In peace.
What if it's a song? It's not going to be the actual one. Oh my god. Snake, you absolute snake. See, the answer that the president had when Snake asked that question was Snake offering the tape or not offering the tape, depending on the answer. Now the world's gonna burn. Let it burn, he says in his mind as he walks off camera so coolly. And that was my reaction to the 1981 John Carpenter film Escape from New York. And two things that I'd like to ask or just say before I get into this review is, one, are the Metal Gear Solid games, Metal Gear games based off of this movie? Because Kurt Russell, one, really looked like Snake, and then number two, his name was Snake. And so I'm just wondering, just kind of putting the idea out there, putting the question out there to the world, was this movie based on the Metal Gear Solid games, or were the Metal Gear Solid games based on this movie or have an influence from this movie? Very interesting for me. I was thinking about that the entire film, and I just wanted to ask at the very start of this review. Second thing is, I will not be watching Escape from LA. I just realized that that was a thing. Didn't even know that movie existed. I've always known that Escape from New York was a movie, but I never knew that Escape from LA was a sequel. Is it a worthy sequel? I don't know. I won't be watching it on the channel. I might, if people are telling me that it's a good movie, I'll watch it on my own time, but I will not be watching it on the channel. But let's get into Escape from New York. I thought this movie was really, really good. Was it my favorite John Carpenter movie? I don't think so, but was it still a really fun movie? A really atmospheric, moody movie? Yes, it is such a John Carpenter movie. If you think of John Carpenter, this movie will probably come to your mind first. Just the music, the way the action is shot, the atmosphere in every single scene, the way the tension is handled is really, really good and very John Carpenter. The shots, everything about this movie, if you didn't know who directed this movie going into it, and you never saw like the title or anything, like you just watched this movie without knowing who made it, you would guess John Carpenter, because it is such a John Carpenter film, and I really, really enjoyed it. Getting into the reviews of this movie before I get into the rest of the review. 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb and 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So obviously it looks like critics like this movie a lot more than audiences. I can see audiences maybe not enjoying this as much as critics because it is slower paced. It is not like action movies today where it's just nuts to butts actions, if you want. But there is some good action in it, of course, but the movie isn't about the action. It is about the atmosphere, the tension, just the settings, the world, and the action is kind of secondary or even like way farther down the list than everything else, because I found the action to be almost some of the weakest parts of this movie. I thought that the world building, the tension, the music, the atmosphere, the camera shots were above the action. So if you're going into this movie like I did, expecting this thriller action movie as it's labeled on Google Play, on YouTube Movies, then you might be disappointed. And at first I was waiting for it to pick up on the action because I was expecting this action movie, but then in my head I was just like, you know, it's probably just going to be like every other John Carpenter movie, slower paced, more about the world, more about the atmosphere, the characters may not be that fleshed out, and the action may not be like amazing, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And that is exactly what Escape from New York brought to the table. The music in this movie I thought was awesome. John Carpenter's scores are always really good, and something I find very interesting about the scores is that they are very simple and they are very different to a lot of other movie scores you would find in especially bigger budget. I feel like this was at least a bigger budget action sci-fi thriller film, and sometimes the music would always be a little bit off-putting because I'm not used to the way that his music influences his films, I guess. Maybe not influences his films, but the way that the music choices that he puts into his movies are never the ones that I expect, and so it always catches me off guard. Whenever there's an action sequence, for instance, I'm used to more like Bwom music, you know, like Bwom, like this high intensity action music to really get the blood pumping so the action feels so much more fast-paced. But in his movies, the action sequences are directed, first of all, fairly goofily, very comedically. You know, Kurt Russell is going bang, 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 and just knocking guys out left, right, and center, and it's not really taken that seriously. And the music is not like Bwom, action, heavy, adrenaline fuel, get your blood boiling sort of music. It's just this overall atmospheric, more calming, synthy score, which is so different to a lot of other movies that I've seen with action. But just the score in general is very similar throughout the entire movie. Like the vibe of the score, I guess, the feeling of the score stays the same throughout the entire movie. There's never a moment where the score really changes in a drastic way, which I always find interesting in John Carpenter movies. I've noticed it in Halloween, I noticed it in They Live, and now I've noticed it in Escape from New York as well. It's very interesting to me the way that he scores his movies and how different and unique the scoring of his movies are compared to other action adventure films. And yes, while I thought that the action was a little weak, I was expecting kind of more from the action, but John Carpenter, while the They Live fight, that really long, like 6-7 minute fight in They Live, was a lot of fun, his action sequences are never meant to be more than that, in my opinion. They're never meant to be more than fun. Like, all the fight sequences in this lasted, a minute max, and Kurt Russell would just punch people, he'd just shoot people and they die. There was never really any consequence besides him getting shot in the leg, which I liked because he had that hurt leg throughout the entire rest of the movie, which I thought was awesome, because not a lot of action movies would make their hero injured halfway through the movie and then keep them injured the rest of the film. So there would always be a way for them to get better so that they could do this epic hero moment or something and just be completely fine. But I like that Kurt Russell was injured the entire time. But while the action may not have been the greatest, I thought everything else was really good, and I thought that the movie wasn't trying to focus on the action. The movie was actually basically telling the audience in every way possible, especially through the score, which I just mentioned, that the action is not supposed to be taken that seriously. You're just supposed to have a good time whenever there's action on screen, and the actual parts of the movie that it really wants you to look at is the world and just the overall feeling and the atmosphere of this world. And I thought that the world was really, really well done. I wish I could stay in this world. I wish there was like a huge fleshed out thing. I would be so interested in learning about the state of the world outside of the prison and more about the New York prison itself. It's such an interesting concept to have a whole city, especially something like New York, become a prison and have basically another society within this prison. And I thought that was such an interesting and unique concept, and I was super excited to explore it, and we did explore it quite a bit, and I wish we could have explored it even more. But I'm also very interested to see what's happening outside of the world. There was talks about a war that was ongoing, a huge board meeting or something with all of the other countries basically to discuss sort of, it felt like the end of the world. And I'm very interested in the world that John Carpenter created for this film, and I thought they did a really good job of exploring it, but still leaving these mysteries that leave me wanting more, but not leaving too many mysteries where it feels like they didn't flesh out the world enough. I also thought that the atmosphere in this movie was fantastic. Every single moment was tense and sleuthy. I said this in They Live, but John Carpenter has a way of making everything feel sleuthy, in my opinion, and don't ask me what I really mean by sleuthy, because when I think of sleuthy, I mean like, you know, like the detectives creeping in the shadows and in a grimy alley, you know, like sleuthy, and that's kind of what I mean, and that's what this movie kind of had the feeling of. The music combined with just the imagery of New York and the way that it looked, the way the streets were so grimy, they were so dirty, there was rubbish and trash, and I guess rubbish is trash, I just said the same thing twice, and like rubble and stuff everywhere, the smoke that would just be billowing out, the lack of lights I thought was a really cool thing in the dark. there was only like the candlelight, the firelight. There was no electricity, at least in most places. There might have been in a few places, but I'm pretty sure there was no electricity. And I thought the whole just mood of the film when they were in New York was really good, and it always lended itself to tension because the world felt so unknown. It felt almost post-apocalyptic. And so even though it was New York, and even though it's technically in the future and stuff like that, but still I guess for me in the past and in a world that's supposed to be familiar, it still felt unfamiliar, which I think increased the tension because you're expecting this familiarity because it's New York. You see it in almost every movie. New York is one of the most filmed cities in film. And you get into New York and you're like, this doesn't feel like New York that I know. Even if you've only seen New York in movies before, you're like, this doesn't feel like the city I was expecting it to feel like. And it all immediately puts you on edge. And then just the way that everything is shot, the way that the firelight is the only thing lighting up these grimy streets, the way that the shadows kind of are lingering in the background, you never really know who or what is kind of hiding in them, I think really lends itself to the atmosphere and tension of this film, and I think is a great aspect of it. I think the only downside of this movie, I'm not going to say the action is a downside of this movie just because I think that the action was not supposed to be the thing that was focused on, and the action was fun while it happened, and I don't think you're supposed to take it too seriously. I think the downside of this movie may have been the characters, and as much as I loved Kurt Russell as Snake, there wasn't that much development with him, but then at the same time, I kind of liked the mystery that was acquired with Kurt Russell's character because it made him seem a lot more cooler and mysterious because everyone seemed to know him. You didn't really know quite what he had done. He had done things. He had gotten medals, like youngest person to get the Medal of Honor or whatever, and so you knew he had done stuff in his life. You knew he was super cool. Everyone thought he was dead. He came back. Somehow everyone knows his name, and I liked that. I just wish there was more development with some of the other characters. Even if he didn't have a lot of development, even if Snake didn't have a lot of development, I would have liked it if some other characters had more development, because on the surface they felt like, I guess, just surface level characters, and some of them were really cool, some of them were really funny. Snake was awesome, and I'm not saying they were bad characters, I'm just saying they felt mostly surface level. Getting into the cast of this movie now, I'll talk about Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, Adrienne Barbeau, and Donald Pleasence. Oh, and also Ernest, Borgnine, and Harry Dean. There's so many people to talk about. Okay, actually I'll talk about Kurt Russell, Adrienne Barbeau, Donald Pleasence, Ernest Borgnine, I'm going to say that's his last name, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, Harry Dean Stanton. I'll talk about Isaac Hayes very, very quickly. I thought he was pretty intimidating as the Duke. I liked the little twitch he had with his eye. I thought that was cool. He wasn't in the movie too much. He didn't say too many lines. I thought he was just a very cool looking character, and he just had a very cool and mysterious but also menacing presence when he was on screen, and I thought he did a good job. Harry Dean Stanton as, I almost said as Brian, but as Brain. Sometimes I get the words Brain and Brian mixed up, and I'll spell Brian as Brain and Brain as Brian. But as Brain, I enjoyed his character. I didn't like him at the start. I liked him in the end. I liked that he was trying to help the president, but he's kind of only trying to help the president for his own benefit, I feel like, in a way. But I still liked that he was helping, and I thought it was funny that he had his blueprints of the bridge, and they were probably just wrong, or he doesn't know the difference between right and left because he blew up on a mine. I thought that was a pretty good moment, to be honest. Like, I wasn't super attached to Brain or anything. I just thought he was a fun character to have. And I'll get to Maggie in a second because I actually really liked the way that she reacted to him dying. But I thought that Harry Dean Stanton did a good job. Ernest Borgnine. See, the thing that's putting me off with his last name is that N after the G. I don't really know how to pronounce it in this setting, so I'm going to say Borgnine as Cabby. I really enjoyed him. He was probably my favorite character behind Snake. He was just a lot of fun to have. Whenever he was on screen, I knew I was going to enjoy things he said. He was talking a lot. Obviously, he was kind of the comedic relief in between these more atmospheric, tense scenes, and I enjoyed that. I liked having that sigh of relief before plunging back into the darkness that was New York City, and I thought Ernest Borgnine did a really good job. Donald Pleasence as the president. I enjoyed him. I didn't think there was too much character. I actually thought he was a little bit wimpy at times, and sometimes there was a part of me that was wishing he wouldn't make it out just because I thought that he just didn't deserve it and was a little bit, I'll say it again, wimpy. And when he said that thing at the end to Kurt Russell's Snake, I was like, oh, I thought Snake was just going to like shoot him or something, but he might have just actually ended the world instead. So that is a bigger reaction than shooting him. But overall, I thought Donald Pleasence did a good job as the president. Adrienne Barbeau as Maggie. I really liked her reaction when Brain blew up by a landmine. There wasn't that much character development of her. She was just kind of Brain's sidekick / lady that the Duke had given to him, and then she was just walking around with a gun like shooting people, but she didn't really do much. I guess she did help out in a lot of plans. She would like show the gun to Brain like, look, I still have this, and she was smart in situations. But I like that look because it was a lot more character development for her. It really showed how much she cared about Brain, and she wasn't just with him because Duke told her to. Maybe at the start she was, but now I feel if she actually loves Brain, and I really like that moment. And her death was very, very brutal, but it was also a very good death, and I thought Adrienne Barbeau did a really good job. And last but not least is Kurt Russell as Snake. He was so awesome, and I'm kind of okay with not knowing that much about him because it just really keeps this mysterious past about his character alive, and I can kind of make up my own stories about him. I wish some of the other characters maybe had some more backstory, because if every character is kind of mysterious and surface level in a way, then it kind of ruins the one surface level character that's super mysterious that is supposed to be like that. Not to say that the other characters were bad, I just wish that they had a little bit more development so that Snake, being so mysterious and you don't know anything about him, feels even more mysterious because you know a lot more about other characters, if you get what I'm saying. But overall, I thought Kurt Russell did a great job. He was talking the whole time in this grisly voice that I thought was very, very fun, and I enjoyed his take on this legend, I guess, this legend who came back from the dead. And that is my reaction and review to Escape from New York, the 1981 action sci-fi thriller starring Kurt Russell, Adrienne Barbeau, Donald Pleasence, Ernest Borgnine, Harry Dean Stanton, Isaac Hayes, and Lee Van Cleef. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, I will not be watching Escape from LA, just saying that at the end just in case you missed it at the start. And I want to watch more John Carpenter movies. I don't know what I have left from John Carpenter, to be honest. I don't know what movies I'm missing from John Carpenter. But I probably will wait a little bit because I've done two pretty much back to back. So I'll probably wait a little bit before I do another John Carpenter movie. But I would like to get into more of his movies. I really do like them, and I like his style, his take on film. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.